Hey everybody, Brian, and I'm back, but it's been a while since I did one of these. Um, Going over games I beat, I think the last one I did was January, February, and I was just busy with like other stuff. But I did get beat some games. This will be, I believe, April and May of 2022. I moved in March, so I didn't really get to do much, go through many games, but we do have April and May. We have a list of 6 games here. So we'll start off for the good old Super Nintendo. We have American Tail 5 Goes West. This is a Hudson Soft developed game. So I'm trying to remember back to when I played it, and I did look at some gameplay footage to refresh my memories. I remember it being a fun platformer. It looks very good. Plays very well as I remember. You got a gun, and your gun could like do different things. Like there's one level where it has like almost like Magical Quest where you could shoot like a water gun attachment, and you could turn out like what do you call the fire platforms, and you could jump around, and you collect like money, and the levels are, I think there's like a American West Town. There's like a haunted house, I believe, or could I get mixed up with something else? But you have to excuse me. But I remember it being, because it's been a while since I played it, but I did beat it the first time I went through it. It wasn't too difficult. There were some parts that hauled me up, but I remember it being fine. It's nothing spectacular, but it looks fine, sounds fine. Hudson does good stuff. I don't know if you can play this anywhere else other than emulator. I don't know if a cartridge is that expensive. But I wouldn't spend more than $5 on it, or just emulate it. It's decent. Next up is Brain Lord. This is a game I've been wanting to play along with Paladin's Quest for the Super Nintendo for a while. This is the first game I played through, minus Fabulous Quest, that I really sat down through. It took me quite a bit, and I played through it. So basically, it's basically broken up into dungeons, and in the dungeons, I'm trying to remember, like, they're very puzzly based, and you go to like a main hub town, and you meet people there to progress the story, and then you go into the dungeons, and there's certain like puzzle rooms you got to beat. You do get magic spells, I believe. It's top down. It's very unique. It's not Zelda, but it's almost like Zelda bits and pieces. You get armor, much more puzzly. It's published by Enix. I don't know who developed it offhand. I can find out. Brain Lord. 2 words? Brain Lord was developed 1994. Developer Produce. Enix published it. So Enix of America, when they were still around, they published this game. Other than that, I did it on stream. I know some people around. I know Terry was there for me for it, and he kind of found it interesting. I enjoyed it for the most part, and it's one I always wanted to play, but I can't remember much about it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. So it mustn't. I mean, I don't know if I'll play it ever again anytime soon, but it was fine. I always wanted to play it because of the Enix published, and it has a cool cover, right? That's Brain Lord. Next up, we have a shoot 'em up, Pocky and Rocky by Natsume. I think this is developed by Natsume as well. One of the most beautiful games, great sounding, great graphics on the Super Nintendo. I'm not very good at shoot 'em ups. I did play through this on easy, and even that was a struggle. I would like to beat it on normal sometime, because it's a very fun game. It looks amazing, sounds amazing. You play as either there's Pocky and Rocky. I forget who is who. I think Rocky is the Tanuki there on the right, and Pocky is the Shrine Maiden. Rocky uses his tail, and he shoots like these leaves, and Pocky uses like cards. She uses cards. You have like different power-ups. You can get one that spreads, like a spread gun from Contra, or you can get one that's more powerful, like a fireball. It's your more powerful kind of weapon, and you collect the same kind of power-ups in threes, and it powers up. And you got like a tail attack, or your broom for Pocky, and you can sweep away bullets that you gotta really learn how to do to sweep away enemy projectiles, because sometimes they're coming out right at you. And then you have like a dive attack, which is useful against bosses to dive out of the way of enemies. It's a short game, but it's very difficult. I think this cartridge is very expensive, so you can either emulate it, or also they did a remake, a kind of retelling of it recently, and that's probably the way to go. I haven't played that version, but I think it's like Pocky and Rocky Reshrined or something that Natsume put out. If you like shoot 'em ups, even on easy, this one's it gave me trouble at least, so I highly recommend it. Maybe if Teddy, I know Teddy Majority likes shoot 'em ups, if he ever wants to give this a try, I think the Reshrined version is the way to go, because I heard that is really, really, really awesome. So that's Pocky and Rocky. There was also a sequel on Super Nintendo, Pocky and Rocky 2, that changed things apparently. I don't know, I never played it. And there was a Game Boy Advance version called Pocky and Rocky and Becky, I think. But I never played that. I just played this one. Very fun. It's amazing. Just look up video if you don't want to play. Look up video of this game, how beautiful it is. It's amazing looking. That's Pocky and Rocky. And Natsume made some awesome, awesome games for the SNES late. That all seem to be very expensive now. Next up, we have the first modern game. This came out in April, so we're into April. This is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This game is fabulous. It's like a 3D Kirby, but it plays like a 2D Kirby. And it has like just some great power-ups. Not as much as other Kirby games with power-ups, but the ones that are there you can like upgrade with certain like upgrade things, and you take back to like the Bandana D's shop, and he'll upgrade your abilities. It has like a town you rebuild. You don't really rebuild it as you go through the levels. You collect more Waddle Dees, and they fill out the town, and they build other things. It has like a arena mode that you can do, and it sounds great. It plays great. It plays like a 2D Kirby game in 3D. There are invisible walls where you can fly, but they didn't really bother me that much. It's a very good game. Enough difference, but enough different things to make it unique, but it still feels like a great Kirby game. And I actually was on the Button Mappers podcast, and I did like a map out with them, so if you want to hear more of my thoughts on that, I will post a link to the Button Mappers. They're a bunch of good guys too, so check them out. So yeah, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, great game. And there you can actually transform with mouthful mode. You can see on the back, you can like suck up these like big giant objects and become like giant, they're called mouthful abilities, where like a traffic cone where you can jump up and like break items on the ground, or you can turn into a vending machine and spit out like Coca-Cola or like soda, and like a car you can turn into, and there's all kinds of stuff, and it interacts with the environment. And the music is great, and it's just a fun game. And the opening to this is amazing with the song that plays. It's a great game. Highly recommend it. Next we have Super Ninja Boy. This is in a series of Ninja Brothers. There's 2 on the NES by Culture Brain. There it is. It's an RPG with side-scrolling, almost like top-down battles. You fight an enemy on the screen, and it goes to like a world, like in the world map. You walk around, you get random battles, and then you fight like little action RPG segments. You go to different towns and explore, and then you fight and get different abilities and such. And it was decent. It wasn't anything special. I started with this one. There's, like I said, there was 2 on the NES. Ninja Brothers, I think. NES ones were Ninja Brothers? Little Ninja Brothers. That was a Culture Brain developed, published one. 1990 on the NES. And it's from a Super Chinese franchise. And I think there was also one, another one on the NES. I think there was two, but I'm not sure. But this is the same kind of series. It's pretty decent. It's nothing, from what I remember, it didn't really... It's nothing spectacular, but it's a unique concept, and it's okay. Okay, we have one more. This is an NES game, the NES. And this is the one I never played as a kid, and I think I fired it up once, maybe on an emulator or somewhere. I didn't even rent it, and that's Mickey Mouse Capades. This is Capcom, but it was actually developed by Hudson. And when you play this game, some of the levels look like Adventure Island, so you kind of can see. Basically, it's a short game, maybe 4 levels. You play as Mickey Mouse, and you actually have Minnie who follows behind you. You get a weapon, and you get keys to go indoors. It's kind of like a mazy kind of game. But the thing is, there's bosses, and if you can get Minnie up, she doesn't take damage. So if you get Minnie up to a staircase, and Mickey down, you can just fire, and Minnie will fire, and then like she can't get hurt, and you can like demolish the bosses. There is a continue code, and I beat it using the continue code because the last level gets a little dicey, but it's decent. It's nothing great. The music on it is great. It's fantastic, and it plays fine. It's kind of a nice short kind of like just like I like on the NES, short, great soundtrack tunes that get stuck in your head, and it's just fun to play. It's not like I said, it's not a Capcom Disney game, but they just published it and Hudson developed it. And you fight like Pete. You see Pete down there. I think his name's Pete. And there's like the first world, and there's like the haunted house, and then you go to like a shore area and a pirate ship, and then I think there's another level in between there. But it's nothing special. But I'm glad I finally played through it. And this the price tag is $2 there. I think I got this at an exchange store, and probably more than likely at the exchange in Pittsburgh, one of them, for like $5 or something a few days. So I didn't pay $2 for it, but I'd say $2 is a pretty good price for it. And that is everything I beat for April and May 2022. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll post some more because I got some more of these to go up. They'll come up in a row. So have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.